How about we build 3 more cedar projects? Let's begin. For project number 1, we're going to need 1 fence picket. That is, unless you have some scrap left over from our previous projects, and this will work just as well. You'll need to cut 1 board at 12 inches long, and grab yourself a speed square. Now take the speed square and line it up with one end of the board here, making sure it's nice and flush. I'm just going to use my pencil to do that. And then we're going to take that pencil, or we're going to draw a line along that 45-degree side, just like so. Flip it over and do the same on the other side. Next, we moved our board over to our miter saw, and we need to cut out these 2 outer sides. So we're going to change the angle of our saw to 45 degrees and do just that. Then grab your measuring tape, and on the sides that we just cut off, we want to measure in 2 inches and make a mark. Because at those marks, we're actually going to cut another 45-degree angle. And here's what your cuts should look like. Now these 2 smaller pieces we can discard of, but the other 3 we're about to assemble. Now place your boards in this configuration. If you look at this, it looks almost like a Superman logo, but yeah, it is a little bit different. Alright, now we're going to take one of our boards that we cut off, and we're going to line it along this long edge here. We want this corner to line up with the corner down below. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we just want to get it pretty close. And then do the same with the other side. As we get everything lined up, we also need to get rid of this gap in the middle. So kind of push both of them together as even as possible. The main thing is to make sure that these outer edges are nice and flush and that the back overlap here is as even as possible. But it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. And once you have it all lined up, you can turn it around and kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. And it'll look something like so. Now at this point, we need to attach these. You can use glue, nails, or screws, whatever you'd like. And here's your final result. Maybe you're thinking, what is this? This is actually a little corner shelf. Now the great thing about this design is that back here on the back, I left a little gap right here in the corner and a little space in between the wood, so that if you want to add a cable or maybe a LED strip or something to come up behind here, it gives you that room to hide it behind the shelves, and that way you can have it displayed right above it and it looks really nice. This is one of those projects that looks good by itself, but it looks even better if you create multiple of these and put them in the corner. Now, of course, these are only meant for lightweight displays, so don't put anything super heavy on these. But definitely create 3, 4, 5 of these, put them in those corners, and it'll look really cool. For project number 2, we're going to need 3 pickets. You'll need 4 boards cut at 27 inches, 4 boards cut at 8 inches, 10 pieces cut at 11 inches long and about 1 inch across. This does not have to be exact, but you do want it to be close. Again, 11 inches long and 10 of those. And then you'll need 1 at about 1 inch across and 8 inches long. Now I'm going to take my 27-inch boards and I'm going to line them side by side here, making sure that they are flush on the ends. Now I'm going to grab a measuring tape, and I need to measure down 5/8 of an inch. And the reason being is that the thickness of my boards are right about 5/8. If yours are a little bit different, you may have to adjust for that. But I'm going to make a mark on this front board back here and the back board at the same time and draw a line so I know exactly where all of those will be lined up. And once I made that line with a nice straight edge, I came down 1 inch from that line, or if it was from the end of the wood, it'd be 1 5/8. Then from that second line, or that 1 5/8 mark, I came down 5 inches, and then another 5 inches, another 5, and 1 more 5. So the next 5 lines here will all be spaced 5 inches apart. At this point, I moved 2 of those 27-inch boards out of the way, so I can only work with 2 at a time. I then grab 5 of those 11-inch strips, and we're going to take one of them and line it with the second line down, or that 1 5/8. And then we're going to take another board and align it with the third line, and so on and so forth. At this point, if you'd like, you can add some glue in between the pieces here to make sure everything is going to hold together, but we're going to add some screws or nails to make sure everything is secure. Then continue to add nails or screws to hold each of these strips in place, but make sure that they're each still in alignment before you do. And once you complete that first section, we want to repeat that process with the second set of boards. Once we have all those strips in place, it's now time to grab 2 of your 8-inch boards and 1 of the pieces we just assembled. We're going to put the 8-inch boards side by side and attach it right there along that 5/8 inch mark that we did earlier. And once we have everything in place, on the outside here, we're going to add some nails or screws. That is totally up to you. Then attach the opposite side, but make sure all of your boards are still in alignment so that it's even on each side. Now take the 2 remaining 8-inch boards and we want to slide them in on the opposite side and attach them as well. With everything now attached, we need to determine which is the top side. Find the side that actually has this small little gap. It should be about 1 inch there, and that is going to be our top. So now let's flip this onto its side. Then counting down from the top, we want to go 1, 2, 3 with the 3rd strips that we put in. Then grab that 8-inch board or strip that we have left over. It should be the last loose piece. And we're going to put it on the bottom side of that 3rd section of strips that we put down there. And once it's in place, we need to add some nails or screws so it doesn't move either. And our project is now complete. Any guesses on what it is? Let me show you. I love getting these little plastic bins. They're inexpensive and I think they're originally designed for like shoe storage, but I love putting a bunch of different stuff in them. Now this will allow you to slide them into place and they will stick out just a little bit from the front of the setup, especially when it's pressed against a wall. And I did that design on purpose because it allows just a little bit of light to come in from the sides and you can see what's in it really easily. I hope you like this design, and I hope you get a chance to make one. For project number 3, we're going to need 2 cedar pickets. Before I make my first cut, I want to show you what I'm doing so we can save a little bit of time, hopefully, and we can save a little bit of wood. Now, I need a 45-degree angle cut on these first set, and I'm actually going to cut 2 boards at once, and first cut is going to be at 15.5 inches. And since this board is 5.5 across, that should leave me 10 inches on the other side. Let me make this cut and I'll show you what I mean. But make sure you change your saw to 45 degrees. Then after making that first cut, I've straightened my saw back out so it's at 0 degrees, and I'm going to stretch these boards over, take the ones I just cut, lay them on top, make a mark exactly where the end of that is, and then cut that off right at 90 degrees. Here are those 4 boards we just cut. This side's 15.5, this side is 10. Now we need to repeat this process for 4 more boards, except instead of 15.5, it'll only be 10 on this side, and instead of 10 on this side, it'll be 4.5. With all these cuts made, let's do a temporary assembly just to make sure everything's going to fit together. We're going to start off with 1 board. Then take the second board here and make sure that the side of it is flush with the bottom of the first one. Take the 3rd board and make sure the side of it is flush with the bottom of the second. And the 4th, flush with the bottom of the 3rd. Then we're going to grab the smaller boards and we're going to have it so that it creates kind of a triangle in the end there. And then just repeat that process over and over again until everything is in place. In the process of assembling this, if you find out that your boards don't match very well in the corners, if they're just a little bit off, like this one is just a little bit off, maybe a millimeter off, it's not that big a deal. But if you find out that the cuts are way off, then I'd suggest maybe recutting your wood because you want that to really be close. Also, look at the way everything kind of lines up color-wise. If you prefer to have similar pieces, say like these 2 together so that the light ones are touching in the center, that's totally up to you. I prefer to have the contrasting colors just because it seems to stand out a little bit more in the shape. But that is totally up to you. To hold all of this together, you have a few options. You could glue everything together. Now, of course, be careful, make sure everything stays in alignment in the process of trying to clamp it together. That could work. Or you could use a thin piece of plywood on the backing and possibly nail or screw or even just glue it to it. Another option would actually be to try and use pocket screws. Now it could be a little bit tight, especially since this wood is a little on the thinner side, but I do know they have a setup that you can use for these smaller pieces, but again, that's totally up to you. And I was planning on using pocket screws to attach this together, and I went ahead and attached this one, but then I realized I don't have enough screws to finish this project. Don't you hate it when you're in the middle of something and you realize, I'm gonna have to go back to the store or order something online just to finish this? Well, that happens, and in this case, it did. But these are 1-inch screws, and they worked great for this setup, as you can see there. Now, even though I wasn't able to fully attach everything together, I hope you can see the design in this and just how radiant it is. It looks like a sun or a star. This would look great going up on your wall in a lot of homes. So I hope you have a chance to make one. Now, if you have any other ideas or comments how to make these better, please list that down below. I'd love to read them. Plus, you'll help out a ton of other people. Otherwise, get out in your shop and have fun building.